Live streaming is on.
All right, let's go to. Hey, John.
So how's things going for you? Not yet. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do much besides sit here and work. Time I get in the house, I've been passing out. Oh yeah. I'd rather be a prisoner in my own home than a prisoner somewhere else.
Deep in.
I'm live.
Okay.
What's that here? Yeah, I can't see my grandsons or my daughters, so I get it. But the way I cope with it is just sit down at the bench and work on model. Oh yeah, I'm figuring 3 month minimum, more like 6 months before this is over. And the last scientist I saw, he said this isn't going to be eradicated. It'll back off for the summer and it'll be back next fall and winter. So we'll see. Not getting too hyped either way right now. So yeah, I mean, at this point, for me, it's just easier to sit back and ride the ride. Ain't much I can do about it, so might as well just sit out here and enjoy myself as much as I can. I have an encoder, but all I had to do to go live is I'm using 8x8. So you got a code down in YouTube where you click reveal and then you copy that. And then when you hit go live in 8x8, you paste it. And then you're good to go. Yeah, I have the speaker on YouTube off, otherwise you get that reverberation and the repeat. As far as airbrushing, I only used the Creatix line, except for my 2K clear. Otherwise, brush painting, it's Creatix, some Tamiya, some Model Master. Just depends on the color. Yeah, this roll cage is for the Ricky Rudd. I think it's the 86 Motorcraft Thunderbird. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've seen a lot of your cars that you build. Oh, okay. Good enough. I don't need to get it back up yet. I do mostly stock cars, dirt track cars, anything Ford. Do some GMs here and there. Got a bunch of 50s gassers, Corvettes that I gotta get back to eventually. I've just been uninterested in working on anything else right now. Yeah, my second car was a 77 Monte Carlo. The engine I put in it was putting out 500 horse. But then I knocked up my ex-wife and that took care of that. Because I had bought a 80 Monza Spider that had a 305 in it, and I was going to put the big motor in it. And once I had to decide that it was going to be a good dad, that took care of any play toys. This was the time of my life I was supposed to be going back and having toys, but with my back the way it is, I'm not allowed to snowmobile, I'm not allowed to ski, I'm not allowed to bowl. So there, all I got is this because I can't do really anything. Unless I want to end up in a wheelchair. Yeah, we're just starting the live shows. We're trying to get guys to stay at the bench, don't go outside. At least don't leave your damn property. Don't talk to the neighbors unless they're 6 feet away. It just doesn't seem like you can get guys to take this serious. All right, where did I put the sheet for this one? Yeah, I wish I could go to work. That was the first thing they took away from me because my first back surgery, they told me I couldn't go back to work, and I said, watch me, and I did. And I blew that sumbitch out worse than it was the first time. And then came my first fusion, and now I've had 3. And because I was such a crabby ass son of a bitch, because I wanted to go to work, I got informed to get a hobby, and I did this from, first, second grade, and probably the first 5 years I was married. So I just decided to get back in it. How's it going, Frankie? Got to put my glasses on. I can't see the screen. But as long as I got styrene, paint, my airbrush, Pepsi, tobacco, and food, I'm good to go. And if the food thing becomes an issue, I can always go hunting and fishing. some up over there out of the way. Breathers over there. Seats can go over here. I need that for a little bit anyway. Throw it over there. Guess I should have painted it up, but I steal one of my other ones. And I got two painted somewhere. Holy crap, you got enough to keep you busy then. Yeah. Me and my late wife decided we were having more fun together sober, so we gave up drinking. And when she was dying, she made me promise I wouldn't go back to drinking, so bought a 6-pack of bottles last summer, and there's still 3 in there. I do have a bottle of Jim Beam Doubles cut, but that's just for when my meds ain't quite cutting the edge off, so I take a shot and try to numb it that way. There. It's got to get painted. Can't believe I forgot to do that. And where the hell did I put the radiator? Well, shite. That's stashed around here somewhere. Let's see if those are the instructions in the bag. Right there. Let's see what color the antenna's in here. Steel. Alrighty. Don't know if we're gonna do steel. The intake should be clean now. I bet your radiator's in here. Jesus Christ. Grab onto something. Yeah, I've ordered some stuff from Hobby Link and didn't get it. So started tracking the package. I don't know what their postal service problem is down there, but they sent that damn thing to Florida, and it went back to Georgia, then it went to Chicago, then to Minneapolis, then to, I try to think of the town again. Went to Burnsville, went to St. Paul, then Mankato, then to me. Get a different bottle. Put that in. I use their thinner. I used the 4012 and I'm putting 4030 in it. Yeah, it helps it adhere a lot better, makes it a lot harder. One thing I can tell you, do not use, for what we're doing, their automotive reducer. It's way too hot. The only way I'd use that is if it was cold as hell or humid as hell. I got the stuff and I tried it and I didn't like it at all. It made everything get all dry before it ever hit the model. Yeah, I don't use their clear. I'm shooting a Axel Noble 2K clear. And yeah, I use the 4012 in everything. Any paint I'm going to spray, as long as it's a water-based paint, I use the 4012 to reduce it. Yeah, I haven't tried that, John. I'm either, depending on what it is, I use, still use Alclad, but for chrome and chrome gold, I'm using the Auto Air chrome and chrome gold. Yeah, what I do for the black backer is I'll just put down the black sealer and then I'll hit it with some 2K and then I put the gold or the chrome down. But their chrome and gold, you don't have to put a clear over it. I haven't had any of it come off on my hands. And the one night I handled the crap out of it and nothing went wrong with it. You know, there's so many guys out there that are, oh, there's no good acrylic chromes. Well, I found one. You got the Malto pen. I'm not impressed with that. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some of the spark plugs from Matthew. And his parts look really good, so we'll give them a try. Matthew Cunningham. Model car art. Yeah, the Alclad is good, but you can't handle it without putting some aqua gloss over it. That's why I prefer if it's just going to be chrome or gold, or using it as a chrome or gold base, I prefer Auto Air's Quicksilver Chrome. Matter of fact, oh, what did I shoot with those lately? Oh, not those. We'll use this one. So this is the product. That's the chrome. That's the gold. And you can buy their gloss black backer. And that's the finish. Now, I'm still playing with it, trying to find where too far is. I haven't quite hit it. I'm a little leery of pushing it too far. I love this stuff. Then I haven't cleared any of it. I handle it. Doesn't come off at all. But like I say, you gotta play with it because I haven't found where you go too far and it turns silver yet. But there's been a ton of black showing through it still. You know, in that case, it's like Alclad. You have to watch how far you go because once you go over, you're over. Cool. Yeah, Matthew just did some spark plugs 2 weeks ago, I think. And they look freaking killer. So I'll give it a try because, you know, what am I out? A couple of bucks? Yeah, he's down in Florida. And you know his parts are going to be good because he builds for shows. Yeah, I know, John. Trying to get anything, you're better off ordering from Britain than you are from here. And there's some really good products out of Britain. I mean, how you can get the, yeah, he is. That's why I said his 3D parts are right on because he's building for show. You know, I build just for me, so they don't have to be perfect. But at least I know that if I buy parts from him, they're going to be damn near perfect. We're shaking. Come on, slow pig. Yeah, I'll come back over here. Yeah, he is a perfectionist. Yeah, I'm trying to use photo etch, but it's still pissed me off item. Yeah, that one, I'm not very good at it. I'm still working on that one. I actually made my own linkage and it looked better. Well, there are guys that they love photo etch. Yeah, I got a buddy that he building USS Enterprise, and there is so much photo etch on that because he loves it. I gotta take the time to sit down and watch more videos, and but like the Detail Master braided lines and their fittings, hell with that. Their fittings cost freaking more than a goddamn kit when you figure it out. I mean, I can make my own lines and fittings cheaper. Yep. You can do that. You can use thread. I make mine so they're either a rubber hose or a steel line. Now, see, the Michaels around here, they don't carry them anymore. So I've had to order them offline, and those are the ones that I get. I have, oh, which ones are there? Number 3, number 2, number 1, and 0. Now, I've never had anything I can use the 3 on. I'm assuming when I get back on my records, I'll have big enough lines I can use the 3s. Yeah, so do I. I used number either 1s or 2s on my oil lines on my last stock car build. I'm probably going to have to take that apart just so it looks right, or so that I can photograph it so everybody can see what I actually did to it. Yeah, I have, let's see, I use this for heater hoses and oil lines because it's nice and flexible and it's bigger. And oh, there it is. I use this for my plug wires and any vacuum hoses. And I got a whole batch of other stuff around here. I use this for my steel lines. But yeah, I've seen a lot of guys, well, older guys, they use just plain sewing thread and they paint it whatever color they want, or they use the color that they want. Yeah, I got mine. I'm pretty sure it was under $10. And there's enough there that I'll never run out. Had people give me crap about, why are there orange wires on that? It's like, well, let's see. I grew up in our shop, and you made up your own plug wires in the early 70s, and you either had black or you had orange. But most of my builds, if it's a Ford, like a stock car, I prefer to go with blue wires. The GMs, I prefer to go with orange, but the truck that I'm doing that called for red, and the Taurus called for blue, but those had the built-in wires. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of stuff from the dollar store too. It's actually where I get my foam cord board for the inside of my paint booth and my photo booth. So here a second. Yeah, I know. They claim that their looms are .025, and so is Model Car Garage. But funny how the wire I bought don't go through it. I usually just take some of my wire and I'll strip the coating off, and I'll just use them as wire tie straps and tie them together. Move this stuff over here. We'll move over to the filthy bench. Alright, this one, this one, this one. I don't think I need anything else right now. Yeah, you can, if you can hold the stuff and get it drilled out right, and then be able to cut it damn near perfect. You can use an aluminum pop can too. That's what I used to use back in the day. I'm just not as steady as I used to be. Cool. You could also make some cool wings for the back end of a Pro Stock. You just got to find a way to get her to go straight and get that curve out of it. I looked at buying the stuff to do my own photo etch, but man, that's expensive. Being on the mini budget that I am, can't afford to do that stuff. Yeah, I still do a lot of old school stuff. I try to limit it, but it keeps coming back into my building. But that goes back to being on a tight budget, and I bought all my own model stuff back when I was in grade school and high school, so I was on a small budget then, and I just do the same thing now. Buy a lot of glue bombs, rebuild them. Yeah. Heck, there wasn't much money in the 80s. But these aliens, they think money grows on trees. They don't know what tight actually means. I bought my own car. The first one I bought was when I was 16. I bought a 65 Mustang. Drove it once. When I got it running, I drove it from here up to our shop and then started restoring it. But when I turned 16, I needed a car. So I went looking, I found my 77 Monte Carlo, and work stopped on the Mustang because all the money I had was going into that car. Yeah, I hear you. I have to buy myself another 1/16 Cobra because there were some parts missing out of mine. I only have one carburetor and missing the overflow for the radiator, and so I figure out I'll pick up another one and I'll cast the parts I need. And I'll build one with carburetors and I'll build the other one with with the two carbs. I'll build the other one with the single throat Webers. So I'll do a street version and a race version. Having to build two just doesn't bother me one bit. No, it's the actual Cobra. It's the 427 AC Cobra. 1/16 scale. He's a monster. But I'm working a deal with a guy right now. What do you mean by a real car? Oh, my 65 Mustang? I don't have it anymore. The garage at my house that I bought here in town was leaning more and more every year. And it was stored in there so I could work on it a little. And I just got to the point where I was going to tear the garage down and said, hell with it, I sold it. I made a profit on it. Big profit. Yeah, I only paid $225 for no, $250. And I sold it for $5,000. Can't say that I missed that one because I only got to drive it once. Hell, I don't even usually consider it my first car because the Monte Carlo was the one I was in all the time. Shit. I put 300,000 miles on that car. All right. I think I am owned titanium. I'm out of stainless. I guess so. Oh man, I don't want to use this. I'll do it the other way. These aluminum. I'll do these aluminum. Ah, shit. Yeah, my ex-wife burnt my complete stash and the belt models that I had in the house down there. And I was on the fire department, so I was sitting out at work, and page went out, and my address. And my dad got down to the house before I got into town. And damn good thing for her that he was down there because he stopped me from coming up on the property. I was going to kill her because I could smell it and I knew what she'd done. Goddamn cops didn't even arrest her. Take care of that little problem. Oh, let's see. Need some of that. Need some of that. think I got that brush, didn't I? Nope, it's right there. Which means I need some of that. Yeah, my ex wouldn't even let me. I didn't get a chance to leave the house with my photo album of the kids. She friggin' took it. Told me I wasn't entitled because for 8 years all I heard was I want a divorce, I want a divorce, I want a divorce. Well, then I decided we're getting a divorce, and she didn't want to get a divorce anymore. But we got one because I was done. Yeah, my second wife, the woman is the love of my life. And she's the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning, and the last thing I think about when I go to bed. And every Sunday I'm out at the cemetery. Yeah, I got a roommate. No, there's always somebody around. Take care of the dog and the cat. The cat goes bonkers when I'm not around. But to be able to do any of this, I had to build my shop out in this garden shed so I'm away from him because that little shit would bug me the whole time. As soon as I got up to the bench, he was up bugging me. I could go lay down, watch TV, and he'd leave the damn room. Never had figured out what was up with that. But I've turned into basically a hermit. And the roommate leaves me alone for the most part. She's got her life, I've got mine. She can gauge my mood and know when to stay the hell away from me. But I was going to boot her out. Last fall, my daughter overrode me on that because she wanted somebody here in case something happened. Because I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago, I had the flu and I had pneumonia and I didn't know it. And I had a problem with waking up but not being awake because I was on a sleeping pill. And I'd complained to the doctor because my roommate would tell me that, you were up smoking last night. I was like, I had no fucking clue. She told me I had to stay on it. Well, I woke up one night, started making cigarettes, and my roommate noticed I just plain ass keeled over. They couldn't wake me up. They originally thought I overdosed. They Narcaned me. Nothing happened. And then they had x-rays of my chest, and so I guess when they were trying to put the tube down my throat, I beat the living hell out of 6 nurses. And then they put me in a coma. I woke up, no clue where I was, why that tube was down my throat, why my hands were tied down. That was wonderful. Never hit a woman in my life, but I did that night. And I don't even remember it. The only thing I remember is waking up, wondering what the hell. And actually, my exact words to my daughter was, "What happened?" Yeah, I have a golden retriever husky pit bull mix, and he's been my baby since he came out of his mama. And I have a cat that he's named Doc Holliday for a reason. He's a stone cold killer, but he's all kitten when it comes to me. He'll lay in bed with me, and next thing you know, he's tipped upside down. He's got one paw over his eyes, and he's trying to stick one of the back ones in my mouth. But once those two die, there won't be any more. That way I don't have to worry about what happens to them if I die. Damn, I'm gonna have to mix up some clear pretty soon. I was hoping Pat would be in here by now. Yeah, he ain't even on yet. Yeah. I was hoping I could get some of the YouTube guys to come in here so I could get them to join me in the Hangout. All right, well, I need to go get something to eat and lay down for a little bit. So I'm going to cut this off. I'll possibly do another one in a couple hours. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later, or you're welcome to come and join our Hangout. Sweet. All right, I'll talk to you later, John. Have a good night. Oh, crap. It's down here.